Billie Eilish has always built her career on honesty and speaking her mind, becoming one of the world's biggest pop stars by doing things her own way, earning millions of fans who admire her authenticity. But that same frankness has landed her in the middle of a Hollywood backlash that's escalating by the day. Following the 2026 Grammys, where her now viral comment about illegal immigration and stolen land sparked outrage, she faced canceled SNL bookings and growing tension inside NBC. Matters worsened when her brother publicly called out the critics, amplifying the controversy and fueling the media storm surrounding her.
One is illegal on stolen land.
The online reaction was immediate and intense. Some praised Billie Eilish for speaking her mind, while others felt she crossed a line on one of the nation's biggest live broadcasts. Things escalated when her brother Phineas publicly blamed the backlash on older white men, a comment that only fueled the fire as fans pointed out that criticism also came from younger listeners. Suddenly, this wasn't just political debate, it was personal. The timing made the fallout even more significant. This wasn't a casual podcast or Instagram post. It was the Grammys, watched by millions, where any charged statement echoes far beyond smaller platforms. Networks and sponsors noticed, and in Billie's case, that reportedly led to major behind-the-scenes moves. She had a Saturday Night Live slot lined up for late February, possibly to perform a revised song after the Grammys drama, but according to reports, NBC pulled the plug, bringing in Mumford & Sons instead. That decision apparently caused internal friction at the network, with some staff questioning whether canceling her was the right call. The speed of it all is notable. Award show controversies usually unfold over weeks or months, yet in Billie's case, SNL cancellation rumors began circulating within days. The speed of NBC's response suggests the network was monitoring the situation closely, possibly tracking social media in real time to see how intensely the story was spreading. When a company moves that quickly, it usually means concerns reach senior levels. From Billie Eilish's camp, it may have looked like NBC folded under pressure, while the network likely saw it as a risk management decision. Either way, this was no minor snub. SNL is one of the biggest stages in entertainment, and losing that slot sent a clear signal that has everyone talking. To understand how it got here, consider the 2026 Grammys context. The show was already under pressure, with declining ratings and politically charged moments. Billie's comment became one of the night's most replayed clips, instantly polarizing social media. Supporters praised her boldness, critics argued the platform was wrong for it, and the clip circulated for days. Then Phineas addressed the backlash, suggesting much of the criticism came from older conservative groups, which shifted the conversation. Fans aged 18, 35 pushed back, feeling misrepresented, and the story snowballed. By responding emotionally, Billie and her team inadvertently extended the news cycle, while Phineas's framing turned the discussion into a debate over who is allowed to criticize, pulling even more people into the controversy. The Grammys drama quickly pulled in viewers who hadn't even cared about the original moment, doubling the intensity of the controversy almost overnight and making it impossible for any network to ignore. Around that time, insiders suggested NBC bosses were reconsidering upcoming bookings, including Billie Eilish's musical guest slot for late February. Reports claimed executives worried the timing was too heated and that further drama could affect ratings or advertisers. That decision reportedly sparked internal debates, with some defending Billie and others arguing the network needed distance. A key factor often overlooked is how sensitive networks like NBC are to advertiser reactions. If major sponsors start asking questions about a guest, that concern moves quickly up the chain. Rumors also suggest Billie's team considered legal pushback. While no lawsuit has been filed, discussions allegedly explored whether canceling her slot breached any contracts. Advisors reportedly warned that public legal action could backfire and damage long-term industry relationships, so the focus shifted to damage control. SNL contracts usually outline expectations for both sides, and while Billie's team might have had a case if NBC canceled without justification, entertainment law favors goodwill. Suing a network you hope to work with again is rarely strategic. Meanwhile, the public spectacle continued. Paparazzi questioned her. Clips of her walking past cameras silently fueled debate, and that silence itself became another part of the story. Reactions to Billie Eilish's silence divided opinions. Some saw it as classy, others as dodging, but the more the story grew, the more closely the industry seemed to watch. Online, supporters argued artists shouldn't be punished for political views, pointing out musicians have spoken out for decades, while critics insisted timing and tone matter, especially on a live award show watched by millions. Comment sections quickly turned into debates over free speech, cancel culture, and whether networks should intervene. The situation became more complex because of an age divide within her fan base. Billie's younger fans admired her authenticity, but when Phineas framed Backlash as coming mostly from older conservatives, many of those same fans felt misrepresented and pushed back, saying they loved the music, but disagreed with the platform choice. Viral threads amplified that sentiment rapidly, though other fans defended both Billie and Phineas, noting their emotional response was natural. The discussion also expanded into broader debates about celebrity activism, with some arguing artists have a right to speak and audiences have a right to respond. Social media intensified the split by amplifying the hottest takes while marginalizing moderate voices, creating a sense of greater division than might have existed offline. Industry observers noted that networks operate differently, balancing advertiser concerns, audience reaction, and brand image. And if NBC executives felt the drama could overshadow SNL, swapping musical guests may have seemed the safer route. As one media expert bluntly put it on a podcast, networks aren't in the business of making political statements. Networks like NBC aren't in the business of making political statements, they're in the business of selling ad time. When a guest becomes a lightning rod, the financial calculations shift, and art and money don't always align. Comparisons to other celebrities who faced backlash for political remarks added fuel, turning one Grammys clip into a broader conversation about how Hollywood responds to controversy. Suddenly, the story was no longer just about a single SNL slot. It became a discussion of power, influence, and who controls the stage. The stakes felt higher because Billie Eilish built her image on authenticity, she spoke openly, encouraged young fans to think for themselves, and created music that felt personal, not manufactured. That realness forged a strong fan connection, but now works against her, as political statements carry extra weight, and messy responses are harder to dismiss as mere show business. Hollywood also has a pattern of letting public commentary ripple into business decisions, often framed as scheduling or creative changes, but fans notice the timing, and viral moments paired with canceled bookings make connections almost inevitable. Billie's situation mirrors challenges other artists have faced. Some recover quickly, while others see doors quietly close for months or years, and the difference often comes down to how the fallout is handled immediately. Escalation tends to backfire, while measured patience works better. Whether Billie Eilish's team is handling things the right way remains uncertain, but the business reality is clear. Networks prioritize ratings, advertisers prefer calm, and when a star becomes the center of heated debate, executives weigh risk. That doesn't necessarily mean they disagree with the artist. Often, they're just seeking peace. If NBC thought swapping musical guests would reduce tension, the decision may have felt practical rather than personal. Yet even useful choices carry symbolic weight. Pulling back from an artist during controversy reads as a statement, whether intended or not. Supporters see betrayal, critics see accountability, and both perspectives coexist. From an artist's standpoint, losing a major platform stings, especially when standing up for something meaningful, adding layers to the impact. That tension lingers in Hollywood, with other studios watching closely before making moves of their own. In this case, a single Grammy's comment spiraled into online backlash, then SNL rumors, and NBC's alleged response shifted the story from one speech to a broader discussion of industry standing. The blow-up unfolded rapidly, yet this doesn't signal the end of Billie's career. Her massive fan base and undeniable talent remain. The episode does, however, highlight how quickly modern media cycles move. One viral moment can trigger weeks of headlines, and one defensive comment can extend the coverage even further. What stands out most is the speed of it all. Past generations of artists had time to craft responses, consult publicists, and let controversies cool before their next move. But that luxury barely exists anymore. Social media demands instant reactions, And those reactions spin their own news cycles, often writing the story multiple times over before a polished statement can even arrive. If NBC truly pulled back or canceled Billie Eilish's Snell slot to avoid risk, it shows just how cautious networks are today. Streaming has made traditional TV fragile, and live broadcasts rely on steady viewership and advertiser trust, so any disruption is scrutinized. From a business standpoint, swapping guests makes cold sense, even if it feels unfair artistically. Rumors that her team debated legal action but chose restraint suggest they understand the long game. Entertainment is a small world, ties matter, and burning bridges rarely helps, since today's adversary could be tomorrow's collaborator. What's striking is how divided reactions remain. Some viewers see her as brave, others as misjudging the platform, and that tension keeps the story alive. The coming weeks will reveal more. Watch scheduled bookings, note which talk show appearances happen, and see which industry figures publicly support her versus who stays silent. If she returns to major stages smoothly, this may be just a brief chapter. If more networks create distance, it could signal something deeper. Either way, this moment is a reminder that fame and free expression come with tricky trade-offs. So, was NBC right to swap the guest, or did they overreact? Will this blow over or mark a turning point? Let's discuss in the comments.